So this is going to be supine hamstring stretch against the wall. So Linda's shimmying way close to the wall with her butt. And then she's going to put her legs as close as she can near the wall. And the easier version is without using the ball. So her knees start off bent. And then she's going to slide her feet up the wall and tighten her quad muscles on the front of her thighs to try to get her legs as straight as she can. Just hold for like 3 to 5 seconds. And then she's going to bend her knees and slide back down. And they come to her chest, and then she slides back up. The more difficult version, because now your adductors, the inside of your thighs, have to work, is to add the ball to between your shins. So now you're squeezing the ball at the same time, and you're tightening your quads, and you're straightening your leg, and you're sliding your heels up along the wall. And then you're sliding them back down. She's got her abs nice and tight, so her back is staying flat in the floor. Her shoulders are down on the floor. They're not coming up. Her head's relaxed. She's just working the lower body. And she's using all those muscles to try to get a stretch in her hamstrings. Good. And you can put the ball down. And now she's going to stretch the outside of her hip. So she's going to back up on the mat. And then she's going to have one leg extended straight out so that it can gently push into the wall. And what that does is take your lower back out of this. So she's going to push one foot into the wall, take her opposite leg and bend her knee and bring that leg across her body. And then she's going to try to, if you're not flexible enough to just bring it over there, she's going to use her shoelace to grab that foot. And then you would hang on to that stretch for a good 30 seconds. And if you notice, she's keeping her right shoulder down flat on the floor. So you don't want that shoulder or your head coming up in order to go further. And you're going to feel this in your upper hamstring. You're going to feel it on the outside of your thigh and in your glute. So you'd hold for a good 30 seconds. And then you'd relax and you'd switch legs. So now you're going to press the right leg into the wall. Bring the left leg across. And grab your shoe on that side. Because you're really trying to pull your hip. So your knee is staying bent so that you really feel this in your glute and the outside of your hip. And now her left shoulder is staying nice and flat. Good. Okay, now you're going to go to a seated figure 4. So she's going to come up to sitting and face the camera. She's going to put both legs to one side of her body. And then she's going to get her heel on her front leg lined up with the kneecap on her back leg. And she's going to try to sit up as straight as possible. And you can see Linda has tighter hips, so it's a little bit harder for her to sit up. If that's easy for you and you could get your right hand to touch the floor, then you could work on now bending forward and bringing your other hand down by your shin. But not at the expense of lifting your butt off the floor. Good, and then come back up, and then you're going to swing your legs to the opposite side. Now the right heel will line up with the left kneecap. She's going to keep her butt cheeks down on the floor. That's the simpler version when you're tight. And then as you get more flexible, you reach that left hand over, and then you take the right hand and bring it down by that right shin and bend forward a little bit. But again, not at the expense of letting your butt come up off the floor. Good. Then the next one is a simple seated butterfly stretch. So you're going to sit up as tall to the ceiling as you can, and you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. And you're not going to take your hands and try to jam your knees down the floor. You're just going to tighten your abs, try to pull yourself up to the ceiling, and just let your knees fall out to the side. And try to let them relax. You're not going to take them and try to wedge them down to the ground. And you're going to hold again for a good 30 seconds. And you really want to work on sitting up as tall to the ceiling as you can when you're doing this. And then the last one in this sequence is child's pose. So she's going to flip over onto her knees. Her arms are out in front. She's going to sit her butt back towards her heels. And as she does, she's reaching her arms overhead and she's dropping her head and chest to the floor. And she's trying real hard to get her forearms down to the mat as she sits her butt backwards to her heels. And again, she would hold for a good 30 to 45 seconds. Good. And